Hey, how's it going? My name's Mike, and I'm a huge metalhead. I love metal music, and I decided that because Cannibal Corpse is releasing a new album coming up in a couple months, I decided I would do an a catalog review of all their albums, and see where it goes from there, because I love their music. I can't believe they're finally on number 13 in the albums. They've been around longer than I've been alive, and I think it's really cool. They're really great musicians. So let's just see how I do with this review. And this is just my opinions alone, so if you don't agree with some of the things I have to say, I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna put them in order of how I think they are the best, and I hope some of you agree, and maybe some of you will give some critique. Alright. First album to discuss. The Wretched Spawn. This I put at number 12. And it's a good album. It really is. It's just, I think some of the songs were just a little, not that they're bad, it's just some were just hit and miss. Sometimes I gotta be in the mood for certain songs. Like, I like Severed Head Stoning, I like Frantic Disembowelment, but certain ones I really gotta be in the mood to listen to, like Bent Backwards and Broken, Rotted Body, Landslide. And which is sad, but because I love this band and I think they're really good, it's just a little, I don't know, just I really got to be in the mood to listen to this album all the way through. Number 11, their debut, Eaten Back to Life. Sorry about that. And don't get me wrong, great album. It's just, they were just still learning their chops. Obviously, it's their first album. It's still a masterpiece, I feel, because there's just so many cool tracks in it. I've always loved Edible Autopsy, Scattered Remains, Splattered Brains, Born in a Casket, The Undead Will Feast, their ever-popular Skull Full of Maggots. I think the final song of it, Buried in the Backyard, great songs. They're just really good, and I always enjoy this album to death. Pardon the pun. Alright, number 10, another good one, just one that I felt was not really living up to their early 2000s potential, especially because this is their first album of the 2000s, Gore Obsessed. Now, I think one of the best songs on it is Pit of Zombies. I also like Savage Butchery and Hatchet to the Head. Drowning in Viscera and Hung and Bled, just two of those songs I really gotta be in the mood to really enjoy, because it's just the way my mind works, and it's still a good album, still very good, but this is only number 10 on my list, so obviously we're just getting started. We got to keep going. Next on the list, Evisceration Plague. Definitely an album where they admitted that this was a hard album to produce, because every album they make has to be heavier than the last one. And Kill was incredibly heavy and just hard to top, obviously, and I think that's what they struggled with, rather than focus on letting the music come out freely. That's just me. I'm not a real musician. I'm not an actual music critic. I just really enjoy their shit. I do like the songs Priest of Sodom. I like Scalding Hail. I really always get a kick out of Evisceration Plague, Shattered Their Bones. Evidence in the Furnace is always a really good one to me. I always enjoy that song. I think it's really well put together. And A Cauldron of Hate, very good shit. Number 8, Vile. the debut of George Fisher and basically the new era in Cannibal Corpse. The reason that this album is not as high as that some of you might feel that it should be, I just think they were still, I feel like in the music they were still trying to shake loose the effect that Chris Barnes left on the band, because Chris Barnes was, and really still is, an amazing vocalist, and he really set a good precedent on the lyrics that he wrote, because I mean, for albums 2, 3, and 4, he wrote the lyrics, all of them. So you know, it's kind of, they had to take a crash course, like they said in their documentary Centuries of Torment. So they kind of had to learn their chops again on the writing aspect of lyrics and not the music itself. But I do like the opener, Devoured by Vermin, Mummified and Barbed Wire, Monolith. I actually enjoyed Relentless Beating, even though it's basically just an instrumental, but I think it's really just heavy and fast. I like Punctual Massacre, Bloodlands. I think Eaten from Inside was really cool, and it makes me kind of link that song to the album cover itself, I kind of feel, but that's just me. Might be more of you, I don't know. Is this number 6? Oh no, this is number 7, I'm sorry. Bloodthirst. Good production by Colin Richardson. Very good producer, obviously, because he was experimenting a lot of things, and he was also really, you know, getting to try different things, especially because this is their last album of the 90s, and so I think it was a way to go out with a bang, I think, considering it's still very good shit. Pounded into Dust, Unleashing the Bloodthirsty, Spine Splitter, Ecstasy and Decay, Raged by the Beast is cool, but I really love Blowtorch Slaughter and Hacksaw Decapitation. Just the name itself really compels me to listen to it over and over again, because it's fucking awesome. Alright, now we're on number 6. Gallery of Suicide. This is the first album that featured their lead guitarist, Pat O'Brien, and I think this is a really good album for him. Did really well, and I love this whole album, especially the song from Skin to Liquid. Great shit. I also like Dismembered and Molested. I thought I Will Kill You and Dispose of the Body was some good stuff. Every Bone Broken and Chambers of Blood. Stabbed in His Throat as well. Just good shit, and this is also their album that has the most tracks on it, 14. Really good shit for them, because they really got them, you know, able to, I mean, just in my opinion, I think a lot of albums should have more than 10 or 11 songs. I think it's a little better when they go at least 12, because then you get a good fill of good music, you know, good fill of what they're capable of. Alright. Number 5. Torture. This is their most recent up until their upcoming album, A Skeletal Domain, which I'm really psyched for. This is a song that I think was a return to form, because, like I said, Evisceration Plague, they were trying to top Kill in the heaviness department, and they kind of got too caught up in doing that rather than work on just playing the music. This is a good, stunning return to form, I feel, because everything is so heavy and just so dark and sadistic in just about every aspect. You get Demented Aggressions, and personally I think the only song that I really is like one of the ones I have to be in the mood to listen to is Crucifier Avenged, and I think every other song is really top notch, so it's like one of those albums it's hard to, you know, top and beat, but it happens. Number 4, Butchered at Birth. Classic album, good shit, and this is the first album that really displayed their death metal style. Eaten Back to Life has definitely a bigger thrash influence to it, and this is also the first album to display Chris Barnes and his just deep guttural inhuman grunting that was a great precedent for their sound. It was basically the 5th or 6th actual instrument, and that was really cool. Every song on here, I love. Especially Meat Hook Sodomy, Covered with Sores, Vomit the Souls, and I also always have to listen to the title track, and Rancid Amputation. Great shit right there. Alright, number 3. I guess you guys can probably figure out by now what numbers 3, 2, and 1 are probably gonna be. Number 3 is Kill. Sorry for the light on my laptop, I really am. This is a great album, and this is really the way I think they should be, because not even all the songs have like really savage titles, but some of them do, some of them don't, but it's the music itself that's so fast, heavy, technical, and just very top-notch musicianship, and I really gotta tip my hat, if I was wearing one, to tip my hat to Eric Rutan, who's a musician himself, but he really helped them produce one hell of a fucking album. Great shit, and I think the opener, which is The Time to Kill Is Now, Make Them Suffer, 5 Nails Through the Neck, Death's Walking Terror, Barbaric Bludgeonings, and probably Infinite Misery are probably my favorites. Second greatest is Tomb of the Mutilated. Fuck yeah. Anyway, how can anyone hate this album? This is like a must-have in their catalog. You get Hammer Smash Space, I Come Blood, Split Wide Open, Necropedophile, Cryptic Stench, Entrails Ripped from a Virgin's Cunt, Post-Mortal Ejaculation, and Beyond the Cemetery. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about Addicted to Vaginal Skin. But this is one hell of a fucking album. It's their last album that features the original full lineup. But this is one of those, just, it's a must-have album. It's got some concert stapled songs to it. So, I mean, this is a must-have for the Cannibal collection. So, drum roll. Our final album, which is their greatest album. Number 4, the last one to include Chris Barnes, The Bleeding. Nothing's bad on this album. Everything's perfect. There's really not really any complaints I had with this album, and I think even though they said there's a lot of tensions flaring and running high, there's everything that happened that kind of stopped the band from going before they reconnected. I think everything was just well worth it, because this is a damn good album. It's one of my, probably in my top 5 list albums of all time from all my other bands. But, I mean, my favorite song is obviously Strip Rage and Strangled. That's the greatest song ever, in my opinion. But I also like Pulverized, Fucked with a Knife, Staring Through the Eyes of the Dead, Force-Fed Broken Glass. I hope they play that when I see them at Mayhem Fest this Friday. And, but I doubt it, because it's a really older song, and I also like The Bleeding, the title track. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Give me some critique in the comments section. Alright, thanks.